in-house production.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second episode of Giving Away Game. I'm your host, Carl, here with my co-host, Pierre.
Well, what's up? It's your boy, King PRV, one half of the Giving Away Game podcast. Please make sure you check out my website, perfectvictorySTL.com, for all things me, from booking to my social media pages to my clothing line success story.
All right, and we here with St. Louis own
Yes,
legend,
yes.
funny man, comedian,
Yes,
Rod
yes.
Lyles.
All that energy is needed. Heavy pressure. What's going on, man? It's your boy, man, Rod Lyles. I'm in the building with these two young men. They doing their thing out here, man. I can't help myself. Sometimes you gotta let out a good chuckle, man.
That's real.
I've been holding that one in, man. 'Cause you're
Laugh
holding
for
intro.
the soul.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, sometimes
intro.
you need it. Sometimes you need it.
Yo,
I feel you.
log on to the loudseffect.com, man, for all your comedian needs, man. That's how I'm doing.
So Lyles Effect. So what is the Lyles Effect?
So the Lyles Effect, man, is just the feeling that you get when you hang around me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they don't really know what it's like to be around Rod Lyles. And a lot of people, they do, and they try to incorporate that in their daily lives.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to spread love and joy and happiness around the whole world. You know what I mean?
What's up, man?
Okay.
Word.
So the Lyles Effect ain't just about you being a comedian. It's also a clothing line, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. So okay. All right. So go
Some
to the
fabric
Lyles
for your
Effect.
back.
Okay.
Okay.
So what's the website again?
The website is theloudseffect.com. That's theloudseffect.com. Log on there, man. Right now, check it out.
All right. That's what's up.
The shirt fly, man. She got
Hey,
big
well,
size,
thank you,
though.
man. I appreciate it, man.
What's up,
Fly.
man? What's that? That's the bodega yellow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bodega.
Bodega.
They're bodega.
Okay.
All right. So if y'all remember from our first episode, we talked about how this is a podcast about first and foremost honesty, and we're gonna be talking about relationships, parenthood, all type of stuff. So today, our focus for episode 2 is on fatherhood. All right. So we're gonna do a segment called "How Was It?" All right. How was it? Is basically about how our lives was growing up with the father figures that we had in our lives, or lack thereof. You know what I'm saying? Because I think all three of us had some extenuating circumstances growing up with our fathers.
Okay.
So, Rod Lyles, since you are a guest, how was it?
Man, you know what? My mother and father, they got divorced when I was probably like 12 years old. So he was in my life for like the main parts. You know what I'm saying? But my father, he wasn't really a good dad. You know what I'm saying? He would tell you that himself. I'm not gonna really get into this early in the show. You know, the early in the show to talk about it.
Hey, but this is what we're here for, though, man.
Yeah. At the same time, he gonna see this.
Yeah, he'll be all right, man. Look,
Hey,
this is what we're here for, man.
Our podcast is about being completely honest.
Yes, 100%.
If you saw the first episode,
Yeah.
I was burning some truth.
You got out. You got pretty deep to yourself, man.
Yeah, man. That's what it's about, man. You gotta give them that.
About freeing yourself, huh?
Yeah, man. Let it out. How was it?
Giving away game. Okay, giving away game. I'm gonna tell you, man. It was rough. It was rough, man. Growing up. I'm just gonna get straight into it, dog.
Man, get into it then.
We're gonna get
This is
into
what you
it,
here
dog.
for.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
My dad, he was a good man. He was a bad man. Bad man. He tried his best. But he really messed up a happy home. I'm not gonna lie to you. My
Okay.
daddy messed up a happy home.
Okay.
Left my mother to bed crying many times. My daddy actually kissed a woman in front of me, dog. I was in the front seat.
Another woman, not your woman.
Another woman, dog.
Wow.
With the headlights on and everything. I'm looking right in front like, dang, what's going on? I don't know what's happening. I just see my daddy tonguing some other chick down. Hurry up and told my mama.
Oh man.
Wow. Told him my dad. He was so hurt. I didn't know what I did though. You know, I was a little kid. I'm just, you know how you a little kid, you just sharing information with your mama. You know, hey mama, guess what? I saw daddy kissing somebody yesterday.
Right.
Like, oh, for real? He said, man, I can't believe you told him. I'm like, man, you ain't tell me not to though. You know, he ain't said don't tell nobody. But I was young, you know, I didn't really know the game like that. Or you can call it the game, like if it's your mom. It don't count. It's your mama, right?
Right. Game. Yeah, ain't no game when it comes to your mama.
And you know, he understood that, but he was hurt. That was a sad day in my life, boy. Like, the look in his face when he was like, my son ratted me out. Oh man, he was hurt. But he understood. Like, I know, but dang, son, betrayed him.
He betrayed you though, kissing another woman in front of you.
Man, yeah, you know what? That was kind of his fault.
Yeah, he betrayed you.
Too. He had a hand in that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, you know, seeing all that, it kind of made me want to be different. You know what I mean? So that's why I go the extra 10%, extra 110% when it comes to being a father. You know what I mean?
So outside of him, like kissing another woman in front of your mama, like outside of that, he was a good dad, or?
Oh man, outside of that, he was an outstanding father. You know, he ain't never, you know, he played catch with me, taught me how to fight. We used to race, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't like a horrible dad. You know, he was in them streets, man. You know, my dad is from Brooklyn. And I don't know if you know about Brooklyn or North, but it's a black hole that'll suck you in. He was sucked into them streets pretty heavy at one point in his life. You know, it's kind of hard to balance to being sucked into the streets and being a parent. You know what I mean? And he ain't had no good what you call it, example in his life either, though. You know what I'm saying? Because his dad was in the streets.
So how many siblings do you have? Like, how many of it was y'all?
Me and my little sister, man.
Just y'all two?
My little sister, yeah. Just us two. Facing the world.
All right, man. Hey, appreciate you sharing, man. Appreciate you sharing.
I didn't tell nobody that, man. I told nobody. I told on my daddy, man. I did. I told on him. He was hurt. Don't tell on your daddy, man. Don't kiss nobody in front of your kids.
Yeah, that's what you should be saying.
Don't kiss nobody in front of your kids. But if your kids happen to see it, don't tell on your daddy. All right, don't do that. He ain't gonna like that.
So you think that made you a better father, or?
Well, seeing it.
Yeah, like it made you like not want to go that path, like when you saw your daddy kiss another woman, like.
Oh, absolutely.
Like being a better example.
Absolutely, like, because I remember how I felt. And you know, I wouldn't want that on my child. I wouldn't want my child to be faced with the decision: should I tell on my daddy or should I tell my mama what happened? You understand what I'm saying?
Like, cause how many kids you got?
I got 4 kids.
4 kids.
Yeah, man, 4 of them, man. And I think about that every day. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, your kids, they didn't go say nothing, but they see it.
But they see it.
They see everything. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of conduct myself with the attitude that they watch it. Kind of why I do clean conduct. You know what I'm saying? Because I know they watch it.
Yeah. That's why this podcast is clean, because they watch
it. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But again, man, appreciate you sharing, man. Appreciate it. So what about you, Pierre? How was it?
How was it for you?
Let me see. For me, growing up, I grew up, you know, I guess that stereotypical, you know, single parent household, just me and my little sister. You know, we grew up like I'm from Brooklyn. Like I grew up like in the projects for real. Like so even seeing like everybody growing up, but like without their daddy was like the norm. Like everybody was a single parent household, like in the project. So like it was very few cases where like somebody had like both parents in the house. So everybody, all my friends, we all didn't have like father figures. Like nobody had like somebody to tell us like right from wrong and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we all just pretty much followed whatever the older kids was doing, and they didn't have father figures. Like so, you pretty much just going off of what they see. We going off what we see with them. So as far as that, like I would say that was probably traumatic, like for everybody like involved, really. So you know, it's hard. You know, you think like when your mother like teaches you everything, you think that's really how it's supposed to go. I think that's how you think that's like normal. Like mamas like take care of the household while like daddy is like not there. You know what I'm saying? Like other times like my dad would pick me up like when I was like younger. Like I don't really remember nothing past like before 5. And the only reason I can remember like 5 years old, because I remember like that was the day he like bought me a bike, and I remember that. Like I remember him dropping the bike off, like here you go, and him just like, all right, I'll see you later, and he like drove off. Cause I was in Brooklyn and like he lived over like in St. Louis, so I ain't really seen him that much. Or do you remember seeing him that much? He might say, he say more than often, but from what I remember, like that's what I remember. So with him buying me that bike, but like my mama taught me how to ride it. Like he taught me how to ride it. Like my mama taught me how to ride it. I remember her being frustrated trying to teach me how to ride it, and like she stopped. I don't even know how I knew how to. I don't even remember who taught me how to ride the bike. It had to been the people that I grew up looking up to, right? You know what I'm saying? So like just even like those small things, you know what I'm saying, even learn how to play catch or baseball or football or basketball, like all that stuff was like learned like based off like what we seen, you know what I'm saying. So as far as that, like you don't know how much that like affects a child, like what I'm saying, because you just think it's normal, like you just think that's how it's supposed to go, you know what I'm saying. I had grandparents, and like I had both my grandparents like was married, like on my mom's side and my daddy's side. But as far as like a kid, like you're not thinking that as an example of like what a household should look like. You know what I'm saying? So you just think that's my grandpa, that's granny, that's grandpa, that's granddad, that's you know what I'm saying? So for me, I guess I never had like that for real. I guess my daddy was a father figure. I don't want to say like he was never there. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like me remembering the effects of being parented by him, like I don't necessarily remember that until I got to like 12 years old, to where like what I'm saying, I was getting in trouble in school, in middle school.
He was coming around.
Right, you know what I'm saying. So that's when I think my mama kind of like kind of like pushed the envelope, like look, you need to like get him, like he started like act up in school.
Yeah. It was different for me because like my daddy was coming around up until I was 12. When I got 12, when him and my mother separated, that's when he was in Brooklyn and I was in St. Louis. You understand what I'm saying? So I had that distance also created that degree of separation. You know what I'm saying? For lack of that word.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was. I mean, so even then, like when he came around then at 12, like I even like had like a, I don't even want to say it was like a resentment, but kind of like, man, how you gonna tell me what to do? Like, you my daddy, but at the same time, like, man, I don't need it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that I didn't know him. It was just like, I guess I felt like, how can you be a parent to me? Like, and I don't necessarily see you all the time. Like, so like you can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I guess for him, he like, man, you my son. I didn't say and do what I want to. You know
Right.
So, I got resentment with that because I remember I was like, I think one time I was like stealing one time. I think I was in 6th grade, probably like 10 or 11. And I remember I went on a field trip and I was stealing. And I got caught stealing in the gift shop on a field trip.
In the zoo somewhere.
No, it was like someplace that I don't know what place. It was some kind of like science center place. But it was like
Tangible
out there like it was out like far like I was going to a Eureka school at that time, so it was like all the way out there. So I remember I was still in the gift shop. I had bought a slinky with my money, but I was like stealing other stuff too though. It was like a super stupid situation.
It's always stupid.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So even then, like, I remember getting caught, I guess suspended from the school. I get home, my mama whooped me, and then called my daddy. So he came to pick me up. And then I went to his house and then he whooped me. So like that was like super traumatic for me because like he ain't never whooped me. Like I said, like I never was around him enough to get in trouble for him to even whoop me. You know what I'm saying? So even when he whooped me, like that was like traumatic. Like, man, I never ever coming over here again. Like this dude tripping. I'm never coming over here. Like so when that happened in 6th grade, when I started getting in trouble in 7th grade, that's when he kind of like made me start coming. He like forced me to come over there, like telling me he got to come over here, like get his grades or whatever. But like that was kind of how we kind of developed like a kind of a father-son relationship like then. But even then, like I said, I was 12, 13. I'm pretty much already made personality-wise. Right. I'd already got my habits, what I used to do, what I, you know what I'm saying. So even with him, like I had my little brother and little sister that he got with my stepmom. And but me and my little brother, like you think we'd be like have a big brother bond, big brother little brother bond, but like I'm 5 years older than him, and picture me being 11 and him being like 6, 5 or 6, you know what I'm saying? Like we can't like really talk, you know what I'm saying? I'm down 13, now you 8. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about girls, you talking about playing Mortal Kombat. Like I ain't even on it. Like I'm in Brooklyn running the streets, like I'm doing whatever I want to do. Like, I come to the crib when I want, you know what I'm saying? Like so even then, like I never had like real structure. Like I said, my mom was like, you know, to do the best she could, like trying to raise a man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just not having like she never really talked to dudes. Like I ain't never had no stepdaddy. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody ever came around like actually been like a straight father figure. So like people we looked up to, like with the drug dealers, you know, some thugs, the criminals, Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, like you know what I'm saying? Like them, like if people look back, like Dr. Snoop Dogg, like Death Row was kind of like our fathers, like because like them the people that we listened to, like they was living the grown up life, and we listened to their music, and like that's what we emulated. You know what I'm saying? Then you know came out Boys in the Hood, Mississippi, like that's stuff we watched all the time, and we not even thinking like at 10, 9, 10 years old watching Mr. Society, like that's like that can like damage you, like you know what I'm saying? Like you thinking like, and then for me like we watched it because the stuff that they was doing, we was actually seeing. Like we was knowing people who was dying, getting killed, sold drugs. But like we knew Trey, we knew a dope boy. Like we, you know what I'm saying? So we could relate to it, but it was still like I think it was detrimental personality wise for like everybody, like cause it made us look at the world like in a wrong sense. But that's because like we had no father figure telling us like, look man, that's just movies. Like that's that this is reality. Like this is movie, this is fiction, this is you know what I'm saying, non-fiction. Like so. With that, you know, I didn't necessarily realize like how much the not having a day thing like affected me till I got older, like you know what I'm saying, in like college, like so I saw the effects of it, like you know, so the way I treated women, the way I treated like friends, the way I treated like all relationships, the way I looked at my mama, like the way like you know what I'm saying, like I realized like not having a man tell me like, look, this is what you're supposed to do, this is what you ain't supposed to do, you know what I'm saying, like at a young age. I had to learn it like later on, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that was like tough, you know, in a sense. Like, so now that I got kids, I got 2 boys. Um, it's it's surreal in a sense, like, cause now I'm like trying to not make the mistakes that my daddy did. You know what I'm saying? Like, not.
Hold on, I don't mean to cut you off, but let's go into our next segment.
Oh, okay.
Let's go into our next segment. But I do have a question though. So, your father and your mother, they was never married?
No.
Okay.
No. Okay. I think they was just like. I mean, I don't really know really what it was actually.
Like,
I heard both sides,
okay,
but I don't know what it was. Like you know what I'm saying? So I think my daddy might have been. You know what I'm saying? Like he had me. He was 19. So you picture having a kid at 19. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what I would do to have a kid at 19.
Yeah.
That's young. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, like, cause you had your first kid about 19.
No, I had my first kid. I was 21.
21. Okay, but that's still young. Like 20, even at 21. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I mean I get how like you know what I'm saying, like not that you don't want to be a father, but you don't know how. You know what I'm saying? 19. So
especially when you had the right example to show.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So for him, like I know he grew up with 2. My daddy grew up with both parents' house, so he understood like the dynamic of that. Like, but even if you do got the example of it, like at 19, you still not like aware of like what to do, what not to do, because you a kid yourself in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's so now that I've like forgiven him for that, like you know what I'm saying, I ain't gotta talk to him about it, but like I can forgive that. Like I understand what you did, how you did things, like the dynamic between you and my mother and whatever. Like I understand because like you know everybody ain't perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like our parents was kids too. You know what I'm saying? My mama had me. She was 22 when she had me. You know what I'm saying? My dad was 19. So I understand. Like if kids, like you don't know. You know, you don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of like freestyling. You know what I'm saying? For real, in a sense.
So I got a quick question for both of y'all. So how are y'all relationships with y'all fathers now?
Oh man, me and my daddy super close. My daddy tell me all the time he look up to me, stuff like that.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, my daddy say stuff like that. Just from knowing what he's done and put me through and to see where I am. You know, you can appreciate that. When your kid go further than you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
so,
what's up.
So
that's what all parents want, right? Your kids to do better than you did.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, me and my daddy real cool, man. I remember when I had moved in with him my senior year, when I went to McClure, North. And I remember I used to play basketball. I was playing basketball, and I used to be talking to him or whatever, whatever. And like I remember Vail.
Yeah, yeah.
Vail was like, man, who is that? I said, it's my daddy. That's your daddy. Y'all tell like y'all homies or something. I thought that was your like big brother or something. Y'all tell like y'all, but like that was kind of how like we was talking, like because like we never had the father and son, like you know what I'm saying. It wasn't no hey dad, how like it wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying. So it was kind of like we talked like friends in a sense, like. And now like I'm older, like our relationship is like we can like he asks me questions like and we can kind of like talk. Like I don't mind being honest. Like you ask me a question, I tell you. You know what I'm saying. So like our relationship is like super cool now. You know what I'm saying. Like even my mama, like we wasn't always, even though I grew up in the house with her, like we didn't have like that connection, like to be like straight talking, like hey, what's up with this, what's up with that. You know what I'm saying. So like even with her, like it's way better now that I'm older. Like with my daddy, like it's super good.
What's up?
Yeah.
So for me, um, so when I was young, my daddy lived in Madison. So
You say make something Illinois?
yeah,
Straight up.
yeah, that's where so my grandma on my daddy's side, like she lived in Madison. My daddy used to live with her. So like in the summers, like up until I was probably like in the fourth grade actually, I used to go to Madison and like visit my grandma. He'd be there sometimes, sometimes he wouldn't. So um, so I remember like the summer before I went to fourth grade, I went and seen him in Springfield. He was in Springfield, Illinois. So I went and seen him. Like I spent, I don't know how much time I spent there, but it was, it was wild. But I seen him then. I went home, and I didn't see or hear from him again until I graduated high school. So I was from fourth grade to graduating high school.
Dang.
I ain't know.
He was in Madison the whole time?
I don't know where he was. No, he was in Arkansas. Cause I know he like I got two sisters that live in Arkansas, and a brother that I've never met. And then he had some other kids. Like my grandma say, like she think he got about 25 kids, and I was the oldest. Like I'm the oldest. So but when I was in kindergarten, my mom started messing with my stepfather, and my stepfather was something. Like my stepfather was like raw, like all the time, like for real, like.
What's a raw?
So,
like Dungeon Dragon?
I'm talking about like nigga, like chaos. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I know my stepfather loved me to death, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I mean to death. Like this, I know. Like, so it was five of us growing up in the household. I was the middle child. So I got an older brother, older sister, younger brother, younger sister. So, but my stepfather's dad was a male chauvinist, and like my stepfather was like that. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't really understand how to treat a woman. You know, like how to be gentle with a woman and things. So that's why I say like everything was rah because everything was so.
But they were hollering all the time.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. It was chaos for real. You know what I'm saying? Like it was
like throwing stuff.
Man, it was
hollering.
Man, it was chaos. Like it was chaos. I'm gonna say that. Like, and it wasn't like that all the time. You know what I mean? Because my mama did a hell of a job. Like showing us love, making sure we did things together. You know what I'm saying? Like, we spent a lot of time together.
Shout out to the mamas, man.
Man, shout out to
the mamas.
Shout out to my mama.
Shout out to the mamas,
But
man.
and even my stepfather, like I definitely credit him with like he still taught me how to be a man. Like he taught me like things like that a man should hustle, like that a man should be able to fix things. You know what I'm saying? Like that a man should you know be the protector of the family. You know what I'm saying? So he definitely taught me that, but he also taught me how not to be. You know what I'm saying? Because seeing how he was with my mama and knowing like, of course, like when you're a little boy, you think your mom is God, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So I mean, of course,
again.
I know my mama probably made some mistakes, but I didn't see that as no kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking my mama is an angel, and you not treating her like the angel that she is.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? So man, it was a whole lot of cursing and a whole lot of ruckus like in my household.
Rah, rah.
So rah.
Dang.
So I didn't see the effects of it until I was older. Like like I said, it was 5 of us in the household. So I always felt like I came out of it the best. Like it made me create this personality which I ain't care about nothing. Like that's how I had. I feel like that's the only way I was able to survive my childhood was I just didn't care. Like when he would like start acting a donkey and the whole house would kind of go up in flames, basically. Like I wouldn't care. You know what I'm saying? Or when he would start going off or cursing and acting a fool, like I just wouldn't care. So then as I got older though, and I started having to be responsible for stuff, I still didn't care. You know what I'm saying? So I would be driving and get a ticket. I didn't care about that ticket. You know what I'm saying? Like that was just always I didn't care about nothing but making me happy because I felt like it was so hard to get and attain happiness as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like I was really smart in school. You know what I'm saying? Like I was on like honor roll and National Honor Society and all that type of stuff. But school was my break from home. So when I went to school, I was acting a donkey. You know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't really do that at home. You know what I'm saying? Because life was so strict and so structured and it had to be like this and you know what I'm saying? So when I went to school, that was my freedom. So instead of being at school doing work and stuff, I was at school being a clown. You know what I'm saying? Like acting a fool and stuff. Like telling teachers to shut up talking to me and like that was my thing. Like shut up talking to me. Like that was my thing.
But, it was your thing.
That was my thing.
Rah.
So I'm going to school and
did he
I
whoop
get
you?
in trouble. Yeah.
Was that bad whoop you?
Oh man.
You still was at school playing?
Yeah. Man, I'm talking about whoopings ain't the word. Like
you used to get beatings.
And I used to get towed up. Like I'm talking about
lashes.
I'm talking about like
extension cord.
Thank God for the whooping.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Things out of jail.
Things could be different,
bro,
man.
I'm telling you, like I don't regret those at all. Like they hurt it. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't sit down and like I had whips and bruises and bleeding and stuff, but bro, them whoopings.
Man,
I
thank my mama for my whooping.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Things could have been way different.
Way different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then like seeing like even how he treated my older sister, like I ain't like how he treated her. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he felt like my mama gave my sister too much slack or leeway. So then that made him like be on her more. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? My older brother, I don't really remember like my older brother relationship with my stepfather that much. You know what I'm saying? Like it seemed like he was kind of gone most of the time. You know what I mean? Then my younger brother, my younger sister, like they got a lot of leeway because they were actually his kids. So like, my younger brother, my younger sister, those were actually his kids. But yeah, man, it was rah. Like that's how my household was.
Funny.
It was, bro. It was
rah.
It was not easy. I'll put it like that. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't change it for the world. You know what I mean? Like I went through a really like rough period. Like I say, as I got older and start having to be responsible for stuff because I didn't know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't teach me about like he told me how to be like street smart and stuff, but he didn't teach me like for instance, he never told me like, hey, go to school, get good grades so you can go to college, so you can get a good job, so you can take care of your family, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It was just always you too smart to get bad grades. Like that's always, you know what I'm saying? So I never even thought about college until I was a senior in high school. Like it never even entered my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like I never thought about it.
My dad was valedictorian.
Straight up? That's what's up. So like I said, like I never even thought about it. Like so like he didn't teach me that kind of stuff, but he definitely taught me how to survive though. You know what I mean? So I definitely give him credit for that. And then I got older. Our relationship changed because I started to understand who he was and why he was the way he was. You know what I mean? So things definitely got better as far as that go. you know, until he passed away in June of 2018. And then like on my real father, like I say, like fourth grade till I graduated high school, like this was like October of 2001. And I get a phone call, and I answer the phone. He like, hey son, how you doing? I ain't know who it was. Like I honestly thought I wouldn't. Like the next thing I heard about him would be him dying. You know what I'm saying? Because like my daddy was a drug addict. He had AIDS and he had cancer and he had kidney failure. You know what I'm saying? So he was so.
Four strikes.
Yeah.
Dang.
And like
AIDS
I would
and
keep
cancer?
up. I would keep up with him through my grandma. You know, like so she would tell me like, you know, I would see her from time to time. I talk to her from time to time. She would tell me what would be going on with him. So like I said, I got that phone call and I'm like, man, this ain't my daddy because my daddy was my stepfather. You know what I'm saying? So he like
my father.
he like this. He's like, this your daddy, Carl? I was like, nah, no, it ain't. So he's like, this Carl. So once he said that, I was like, oh wow. So he wanted to like take me to Six Flags and all. So I was like, no, man, I'm good. Like I didn't want nothing to do with him for real. But he had my sister with him. Like he had brought my sister from Arkansas. I hadn't seen her since I was like 6 years old. So I'm like, oh, you got my sister with you? I'm like, okay, bet. So I went and seen him, like, you know, like, and I called him Carl. He was like, man, you can't call me nothing better than that. I was like, well, what you want me to call you? Like, I know you don't want me to call you daddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I called him Carl. Like, that's what you ordered me. You called. So I hung out with him for like a day or two. He was supposed to go back to Arkansas, have a surgery, and then he was coming back to St. Louis to live permanently. But when he went to Arkansas, he ended up dying on the operating table. So like that like super pissed me off because I felt like I was robbed again. You know what I'm saying? Like I already felt like I was robbed because I didn't see you all that time. But then you come here and like when I seen him, I'm like, bro, we gotta have a long talk, powwow. You know, and he was like, okay, you know, he's like, you know, I'm gonna go here, I'll be right back, you know, yada yada. He's supposed to come back in like a week, I think. And when he died, like, man, I was mad, man. And like, my mama called me to the house and she told me because my grandma had told her, and like, you know, my mama was hurt. Like, my mama was hurt from it, which I was kind of surprised. But I mean, like, I ain't like I say, I was mad about it, but I was finna go hoop. I was like, after she told me, I was like, oh, you done? I'm finna go to the gym. Like, I want to hoop. You know what I'm saying? Never really thought much about it after that. So, how it was for me, it was kind of rough. It made me who I am today. I like who I am today. So, you know, I don't regret none of it. Like, I wouldn't take none of it back, but it was definitely rough.
Yeah, I mean that's good that like you know what I'm saying. Even though you didn't have like the fact that you didn't have the example or presence of your father made you want to be a better father than you know what I'm saying than your father. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's every man's motivation.
Yeah.
It should be.
But it should because everybody, some people just follow the curse.
Yeah.
The pathological curse of like, man, my father wasn't there, so like you just that's just what you think is the right way. You know what I'm saying?
So with that in mind, then we go to our next segment, which is what motivates you to be a good father. Like Pierre, what motivates you to be a good father? Because you said you got 2 kids, right?
Right. I got 2 kids.
How old are your kids?
4 and the other one about to be 2 next month.
Okay.
So I mean, it motivated me because like I said, like my father wouldn't. I didn't have the dynamic of my father like being around all the time, but then I remember because I don't want to be saying that and I don't remember. Like you know what I'm saying. So for me remembering, like it wasn't like that. Like constant, like it was in the household, like always with me like that. You know what I'm saying. So I want to be the person that's there. You know what I'm saying. That's teaching my kids all the the catch and riding the bike and you know what I'm saying stuff like that. So I want to be there to experience it to see it like that. That'll give me like self gratification knowing that like I was there and like I tried. And my daddy tried. Like my daddy be saying like you know what I'm saying like long he said man even when I die like I want you to say man that old nigga tried. He at least tried. And when he said that to me I was like I give you that like you did try like you know what I'm saying like it wasn't like he was you know what I'm saying it wasn't like when he was around as far as I remember like he was a bad father. It was just that like I don't remember him as much. You know what I'm saying? Like so I just want to be presently there, you know what I'm saying, with my kids and like watch them grow and then and I want them to be like, yo, he tried, like he was there, like he was at work, but when he was around, he did this. Like I want them to have it. I want them to have the appreciation that I have for my daddy and my mom. You know what I'm saying? For sure my mom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't even appreciate her until like I got older. Until I looked back and saw like what she had to go through, the things she had to sacrifice. Then I was like, man, I truly understand. Like you went through a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like to put us in to put me in a position. I put my little sister in a position too, like to be better. You know what I'm saying? She didn't have to. You know what I'm saying, take me to school every day. You know what I'm saying? She had to drive me to,
Word.
you know what I'm saying,
Word.
to St. Louis schools. Like I was over, she could just say, go up the street to, you know what I'm saying, to Lovejoy, and you know, I ain't gotta worry about nothing. But she putting that raggedy car to work, you know what I'm saying, like overheating. You know what I'm saying? She'd be saying prayers in the car before you turn the ignition. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Auntie.
Man, real man, it's real
Shout out
man.
to
She'd be
Auntie.
praying. I remember like so for me to look back, like, you know what I'm saying, almost like a near-death experience, like your life flash back. I remember,
Yeah.
like, I remember them mornings having to get on the bus at 4 in the morning and having to get on the bus at 4 in the morning in Brooklyn just to get to West Side by 7. You know what I'm saying? This before the Metro Link, so it was just bus after bus after bus. My mom was doing it. We was getting up at night. You know what I'm saying? Like 4 in the morning, getting on the bus, like with crazy people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
so
know.
for me to sit back and appreciate that because she didn't have to do that. She could just took the easy route. She could take the easy, and she did. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, she got minimal help, and I appreciate that. And I want my kids to look back and say, man, that dude tried. Like, that's what I want. I want to have like that appreciation, like, you know what I'm saying, on my deathbed, like satisfied with the way I did things and the way I raised my kids. Like, that's how I want to go.
I can dig that. I dig that.
What about you, Mr. Lyles? What motivates you to be a good father? How many kids you got?
I got 4 kids.
How old are your kids?
My kids are 19, 14, 12, 17.
Wait, 19, 14, 12, and 17?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what motivates you to be a good father?
So I'm motivated just by the sheer fact that my father wasn't around as much as I would like him to be. You know what I'm saying? Just growing up, knowing, watching the Cosby's or watching the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you know, seeing good men, seeing fathers in their child's lives, and seeing the men that they became, Family Matters, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, that's the kind of father.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of fathers that I kind of model myself to be like. You know what I'm saying? So I take a little bit of core, a little bit of feel, a little bit of bill, just kind of mold it up together. And to me, it's important to have some remember wins with your kids. You know what I'm saying? You want your kids to grow up and be like, you know, I remember when my daddy taught me how to hoop. My daughter can say, I remember when my daddy taught me how to ride a bike. My son can say stuff like, I remember when my daddy taught me how to swim. You know what I'm saying? I remember that one time we went. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because the memories just was important.
The memories
The memories
the
is what
memories
they remember.
of the currency that you want to,
Yeah.
want to have. Like that's the real.
So that's what motivates me. Just so my kids can be like, I remember when.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. And I want my kids to be better than me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All good fathers do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good ones do.
All good parents.
The good ones.
Yeah.
There's some bad ones out there.
There's definitely some bad ones.
They're hoping. Tune in and get you some free game, man.
Man, that's real.
Right. So for me, I always wanted to be the biggest influence in my kids' lives. Like, I got 3 kids, 13, 12, and 10. And when I had my first 2, because my oldest is my stepchild by my wife. But when I had my first 2, you know, like me and her mom, we didn't get along that well. We kind of realized that we'd be better off apart. You know what I'm saying? Than being together. And once we split, I had already knew how that dynamic, you know, usually works. But you like, you know, I'm gonna see my kids on the weekends or every other week or something. Man, I was not satisfied with that. Like, I wasn't having that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to be the main influence in my kid's life. And that's not even to say because I didn't trust her or, you know, whatever. I just wanted it to be me. You know what I mean? So, even beyond how my real father or my stepfather was, like, that was my mindset. Like, even before I had kids, You know what I'm saying? Like,
You want it to be me.
yeah, I wanted it to be me. I wanted to be the one molding and teaching and showing and creating memories.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted that to be me. So when me and her split, and you know, I fought for and got custody of my kids. You know what I'm saying? So that was like one of the dopest moments of my life. Then then uh, then I went and I joined the Father Support Center because I was trying to get a job. Like I wanted to be a forklift driver. So like they was advertising that they was like showing people how to be a forklift driver. So I had went and like checked it out and stuff and ended up getting in this class and everything where they like supposed to like help bad fathers reconnect. Or I shouldn't say bad fathers, but fathers who aren't in their kids' lives, like be more involved in their kids' lives. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I already had that because, like I said, at the time, I already had custody of my kids. But that ended up giving me more motivation to be a good father too, because I seen all these fathers that like maybe at one time like they was going through something, you know what I'm saying? But then like they starting to try to make a change, but it's hard, and it was so hard for those women to believe in them. You know what I'm saying? Like believe that yeah, this is who I was. Maybe I was a POS at this time, but now I'm trying to do better, or I want to be better for my kids. You know what I'm saying? And seeing like I'm talking about being in these classes and seeing these dudes like bawling, like crying because they ain't seen their kids in years and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't seen my baby. I ain't seen, you know what I mean? Like not knowing what their kids look like and stuff. Like, bro, like that was real. Like that gave me even more motivation. So then in uh in 2016, I found out I was nominated for Father of the Year. You know what I'm saying? So um and
That's
I ended
dope,
up winning.
that's
You know what I'm saying? I ended up winning Father of the Year in 2016, and that was that was big.
Father of the Year, man. Man, say that again to the people, man.
Yeah,
Some people that ain't heard
So in 2016, I won the Fox 2 Father of the Year award.
Father of the Year, you heard me?
I got to throw out the first pitch at the Cardinals game. I got a plaque.
All that energy was needed.
But the funny thing is, like, I ain't even like when they called me and told me about it, like that I was nominated. Like initially, I told them like I didn't want to do it. I was like, oh man, pull my name out of it because I feel like why do I need to get accolades for something that I should be doing anyway? You know what I'm saying? Like to me, like it wasn't special that I had custody of my kids. You know what I'm saying? It was just what I was supposed to do.
But
You know what I'm saying? Like
recognition is
it was
important.
natural to me.
That recognition is important, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's not a lot of times that light ain't being shown on the good fathers. It's always the bad fathers. The boys in the hoods and New Jack City.
It ain't even just about being a good father. It's about the fact that you have a rare situation where like you have custody of your kids.
Yeah.
And that's a rare situation. Like it's a dude at my job, and like he got custody of his daughter. And I was like, man, how did you even do it? Like, what? I said, she smoked crack or something?
Yeah.
She alcoholic or something?
She gotta
like,
be on
nah.
crack or something.
I said, man, she be beating you up? How you get, like, because I mean, it's a rare occasion that it happens. You know
So let's see
what I'm saying?
Missouri. Missouri is pro-woman.
Is it? I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of states are. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, it's very rare that they would take the, some got to be for real wrong. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, in my case, it wasn't nothing for real wrong with her. It was just more so the situation, like a bad situation happened. I put it like that, which aided me in getting custody. You know what I'm saying?
Something happened.
Something happened. Yeah.
It's like something wrong with it.
Well,
yeah, something wrong. Something got to be wrong with you. So then it'd be like, go with him.
So
they ain't saying go with him if ain't nothing wrong with you. For real.
So, but my wife is the one who kind of like pushed me to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because she was like, listen, if one person see your story and it motivates them, then it was worth it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay. So I, like called her back with my name, and like I said, ended up winning and stuff. And I admit that was super dope. Like
that's super dope, man.
That was super dope.
Proud of
that.
I have a T-shirt on right now if I was you.
Yeah,
that's 2016, man. You see it.
You
heard me.
But then of course, like now, as far as my stepfather go, like my real father, I have no motivation from him because I don't know, he just didn't mean nothing to me. But my stepfather, like being in my life and being rah rah, it made me be the opposite of that in my kids' lives. You know what I'm saying? So now, like, everything is conversations and talking and quiet, and like my kids can, like, even when I'm pissed, I don't yell. Like, my kids never hear me yell. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never yell at my kids. I never curse at them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
I'm a good yeller.
He told me that. I don't. I almost never raise my voice. You know what I'm saying? Because man, hearing all this screaming and yelling, man, I don't be feeling that at all. Yeah,
you used to that ride.
Yeah, I'm used to that, and
so really, it was really like negative motivation.
Yeah,
it made you do the opposite because you saw the effects of it.
Yeah, it really was. But so that was definitely motivation to, you know, like, not be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, do my best to be the opposite. And then, you know, I had, like, my brother called me yesterday, and he was telling me about, like, he was telling me how he looked up to me, like, how, like, I'm an example for him because, you know, he got kids and he just got done paying child support for one of his kids.
You done paying?
Yeah.
Man, clap it up for that. I got one more year.
Shout out.
One more year.
But
counting it down, you shout out to my baby, but I'm counting it down, baby. I ain't even lie.
But yeah, he was, you know, and that made me feel good, you know, like he live in California now, but he was telling me like how, you know, like he looked up to me. Then like on my birthday, my brother, my younger brother, who rah like my daddy or like my stepfather was, like he made like a super long post on Facebook about me, like talking about how he looked up to me as a father and stuff. Like so that was, and that came out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not who my little brother is. You know, like that literally came out of nowhere. So that was, you know, like that really like
it's hard to turn a
made
blind
me
eye
feel
to a
good
good
and
image,
stuff
man.
too, man.
It's hard to turn a blind eye to a good image.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. For real, man. And I commend both of y'all, especially you, like, because you like the first young father I seen. Like, like, so you started young, and I just see you like, man, I can be him. I ain't had no kids that young.
How old was you when you had your first?
I was 21 years old.
Like prime clubbing years. You know what I'm saying? So like, but even still, like, you stuck through and you did what you had to do. You know what I'm saying? The child support and everything like that, you still did it. You know what I'm saying? You still was the father. You still
I put myself on child support too.
But that's what's up, man. I mean,
I want to get the rights to be able to see my daughter.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, even like, and then I think you might have been the second father, probably. Yeah, you probably the second to me that I see that I know. You know what I'm saying? That you and, you know, Phil, my homie Chris Duffy, Woodrow, like, so like everybody that I know, like in my circle, all fathers, like in their father life, like straight got their kids, everything like that. So like I commend y'all for it. I'm the youngest one, you know, to have kids. The youngest, you know what I'm saying? So like to see y'all, like, it's still, that's a motivation too. You know what I'm saying? To see y'all, you know what I'm saying, the good light, you know what I'm saying, doing good things.
It takes a village, man.
It takes a village, real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you still need, even if they ain't telling you how to be a good father, you still see it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a good energy to have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely positive.
Yeah.
And then it even taught me even how to be a stepfather. You know what I mean? Cause my wife's son, he's old. I got in his life and he was 13, 12. So he was at that age where he was like, who you talking to?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I ain't never had no issues out of it. And I coined that to me being a good stepchild. When my stepfather was in the house, I wasn't giving him the blues. I wasn't talking back to him. I think that resonated with my stepson now. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to your wife too for raising a good son too with 2 years.
Shout out to her for doing that. She did.
Because it could have been another way.
Because it could have been a different way.
It could have been a different way.
Son, I know some fathers who got crips as step kids. You know what I mean? Talk about what's up, cuz. Hold on. Your son, what did he just say?
That's all bad.
Nah, he a crip. Don't worry about it.
He a crip. Don't worry about it.
Wow. What's up, cuz? So yeah, man. Folks going through it.
So let me ask y'all this. Why do y'all think black men, especially, get a bad rep as fathers? Like, why do you think they get a bad rep, and do you think they deserve it?
I think black fathers get a bad rep because of the image.
You know what you mean? Explain.
Like the image that's on television. You don't see the Cosby shows and the Fresh Princes and all these good fathers and Family Matters. You don't see that no more. So all you see is what's going on in reality, which is People ain't staying around. People ain't stepping up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people ain't taking care of their kids out there.
Yeah.
So if that's what you got all around you, you grew up in the projects. You said you saw that all the time. It's only gonna take be a matter of time for somebody to say, hey, they not taking care of the kids. You understand what I'm saying?
I think it's another thing where I think misery and pain gets passed down with women. You know what I'm
Generation.
saying? So I think like, you know, if grandma had a good for nothing baby daddy, she gonna teach her daughter, you know what I'm saying, like if you trust these niggas, you do this, what you do, don't you trust these niggas, don't you get so like you passing that pain and misery and you know what I'm saying, like down to your kid. So when they have a kid, they gonna be telling their kid the same thing. So now you just it's generational like a curse. Like they just tell her you feeding off the pain of somebody from slavery time. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's and it's I mean and on top of it, like you said, the image on TV and radio and people just you know and people just got history like
And people are fools, man.
people
it ain't,
you know what I'm saying?
It ain't all the girls' fault.
Ain't
Some of these dudes is fools.
Some of
You know what I'm
dudes.
talking about?
And nothing about that, like some of these girls know dudes food.
Yep.
And still,
don't
you
care.
know what I'm saying?
Hot.
And don't care.
Sit your clothes, keep it closed. You ain't got to worry about that.
You know, like I said, man, like dudes are irresponsible, man, and women don't take accountability. Like you gotta understand that, like you know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You knew he was.
You saw the red flags.
You saw the red flags.
You saw the red flags.
Don't care. You was hot.
And I mean, and you know, even with the dudes, like man, you knew you didn't want to be with her, like with you.
But you hot.
You know, but you out here, like you know what I'm saying.
Legs
So like
burning.
it's irresponsible.
Loins on fire.
You know so like it's just a passed down like terrible like mentality and energy that you just pass it down from. You know what I'm saying?
It ain't they fault. You know, they don't. A lot of them don't know no better. You know what I'm saying? It could have been different for us. But we smart. What if I would have been like seeing my daddy kissing and I guess what you're supposed to do.
You thought right.
You know what I'm saying?
You could have took that path. I think that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? You thought that was and that's real. You know what I'm saying? I never really seen that.
I know a lot of people that was going like, well, shit, my granddaddy like this, my daddy like this. This is how it is with me. Yeah. You don't gotta be like that with you.
You know, man.
You don't gotta be like that with you.
You know what I'm saying? Be the difference, man. Like
be the difference. Stand out. Ain't nothing wrong with standing out.
You know what I'm saying?
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
For me, I feel like black men do deserve it for the most part. Like, you know,
deserve just think the criticism.
Yeah, because just think of how we were just sitting here talking about how we aren't the norm. It seems like it's becoming the norm. You know what I'm saying? But I would say definitely maybe like 10 or 15 years ago, it wasn't the norm to have a young man that's a father and be active in a kid's life. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't the norm. You know, and I definitely understand the generational curses and even the environmental curses. You know what I'm saying? When you growing up seeing these type of things or in the neighborhoods or in the streets that you grew up in, and you know you don't see no good examples of, you know, being fathers or being a good father or whatever. But all three of us grew up in those times. You know what I'm saying? Like all three of us are over 35. So we grew up in those times, and we made a conscientious decision to do better. You know what I'm saying? And that's the one thing about life. Like everybody got a choice. You know what I mean? So it don't matter what you seen. You know, Tupac wrote "The Rose That Grew from Concrete." So like it don't matter what you seen, what you've been through. You can make the choice to do better. You know what I mean? And I think most of the time, like we didn't. And now, you know, even now, we still feed like that negative narrative sometimes.
Yeah.
Like when we walking around with our pants sagging and loud and goofy and cursing and going off and you know what I'm saying, like in public, like you know what I'm saying, like that makes people look down on us. You know what I mean? Like we said, like it's so bad that it's not common to see good fathers. You know what I mean? But it's not. You know what I mean? It's just, but that's why I feel like, you know, I would say it's 50-50. Like we definitely deserve a lot of the criticism that we get.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Like as a black man, you know what I mean? But
see, look at from the flip side, they make money off of single parent households.
What they got to do with you making the choice to be a bad parent?
The image. That's what they want.
Listen, I understand that, but at the end of the day, you still have a choice. Like, it don't matter what they want, what they say.
What I'm saying,
you have a choice.
If you got a choice to do what's right, but all you got is this in your face, like you got the choice to eat healthy, but it's 100 McDonald's on the corner. You don't understand what I'm saying? That's the problem.
Like,
that's the problem with society.
It's an environmental
thing. And that's because they capitalizing financially off that. Why is it that you can make a song about selling drugs and killing black people, but you can't make a song about killing dogs, killing a gorilla? You can't make a song about killing a gorilla. They'll pull you off the date rape. Mm-hmm. What you mean you raped the girl? Hold up, you can't do that because they can't capitalize off that. But killing black people, growing up without your father, oh yeah, we can capitalize off that. Yes, push that, perpetuate that.
That's a bigger conversation right
there.
That's a bigger capitalistic.
I got deep. I got heavy right quick. I got heavy right quick.
But I mean, like, cause I always wonder, like, is it a circle of bad fathers that get together?
They get together and do what?
But they don't talk about being bad fathers. But I want it's like a group of dudes that's just like they all bad fathers or non-existent fathers. Like they all just sit around.
Like, man, you got your kids?
Remember that?
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, dang, I probably should get mine too.
But like,
bro.
like you said, but like it's an example that like if I got 6 homeboys and only one of them even have their kids, like it's gonna be like, man, when I go to the club tonight, I ain't finna get my kids. You know what I'm saying? But if everybody got their kids, you're like, man, I'm gonna get my little boy too, man. It's an example thing, so like you gotta see it. You know
or like none of your homeboys got kids.
Or
like in my
situation,
I was the only one that had kids.
Right.
So it's like, dang, you gonna kick it with everybody, you gonna see home with your daughter.
Yeah.
At some point you gotta wise up. You know what I'm saying?
And you did though, so you made the right choice.
Made the right choice.
Right,
a lot of people don't.
A lot of people
A lot of people
But
don't.
you probably had people telling you, you better make the right choice too.
Well, no, I
right. You know, that's
but see,
thing
just growing
too.
up without my father, you know what I'm saying? That's what made me want to be around. Growing up without my father around every day.
But you knew, but I think in the back of your mind, you knew if you didn't be a good father, somebody's gonna hold you accountable.
Oh yeah, definitely did.
So like that right there, like I think people
accountability definitely helps.
I think people don't be having that in their like either though.
Nobody holding them accountable.
Nobody's saying like, man, where your kids at?
Right.
Let's see you with your kids. Like you got that mama who don't care with your kids and that like. She like, well, that's your life. I ain't made my kids.
Ain't my kids.
I'm done.
Cigarettes.
You know what I'm saying? Right.
Well, that's why it's good to for us to have each other basically. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm saying, but everybody's not blessed to have that type of circle though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because like we seen each other and like we ain't never see our kids. We should be like, where your kids at?
Yeah.
Like, when the last time you seen your kids? So that's a great point.
We all got together. We all got together like dogging our baby mamas. Like that'll be our circle. Like
that's our circle.
My baby mama did this today. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's the energy. You know what I'm saying? We all got our kids, but we dogging my baby mama.
You get out what you get back what you put out there.
But like it's all about the example.
I don't like that either. Like I definitely know that there are cases where, you know, there are bitter baby mamas. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen it.
It's a big case.
You know, I know there are cases of, but all of those cases ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like where it seems like every time you run into somebody who ain't being a good father or ain't seen their kids or something, and you ask them about it, they be like, "Oh man, my baby mama be tripping." Like, but why is she tripping though? You know what I'm saying?
A lot of times they be tripping.
Yeah,
I had one that was tripping.
So that's what I'm saying. I know there are cases where that's true, but that's not always true.
It ain't always.
Like, sometimes it's sometimes it's your fault.
Probably like 75.
Yeah,
about
sometimes
75,
it's your fault.
80 sometimes. Sometimes it's about 80.
I mean, but sometimes like
it's high. What I'm trying to say.
I'm gonna say it's more on the woman too, because they have a choice too. Like because some women feel like because you ain't paying child support, you ain't gonna see your kid, or because you ain't bought no diapers, you ain't gonna see your kid. So like, I think women understand that it's more. It ain't just about money. It ain't just about. It's about the time. I don't care if I can't buy the kids some socks. Like I want to see my son.
Right, and you should be able.
And you should be able to do that. So if I say I want to see my son, and she's saying, "Well, what are diapers and wipes at?" And you like, here you go again. Mm-hmm. No, I mean like you don't do nothing for your kid. You ain't gonna see him or see him. So that's when you might get the conversation like, "What your kids at?" I'm be tripping. And you might think it's because of him. Like, bro, you don't even buy no diapers and wipes. That's how you thinking. But it's like, bro, it shouldn't even matter about the diapers and wipes. I can't get diapers and wipes, but I want to see my son though.
Listen, I feel you on that. Yeah. I do. But I can see it the other way too because, like, trying to see it from like her side or her point of view, and like being a single parent at one time, where it's like, yeah, you always want to see your kid, but you can't never do nothing for them. You know what I'm saying? And then like you may see them and they may have like you got on new shoes, but you can't buy your kids no diapers. Or you got on a brand new fit. You can't buy your kids no diapers.
Yeah, that's different.
You got a new car. You can't buy your kids no diapers. Yeah, you want to see them.
I see that, but it ain't your place to put priority on another grown person. You can't say, "Oh, you got some new Jordans on, my kid ain't got no diapers." I want to see my kid.
That's true.
But I'm saying what I got on.
I'm saying that's where that bitterness comes from.
But that's what I'm saying. That's you're in that person. She's in the wrong because it can't be no bitterness. You making somebody pay their way to see their kid. And
that's not necessarily paying your way.
You are. You just said
no. I'm saying
payment on it.
Okay, put it like this: you have a kid you have a child by a girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you end up having custody of your child.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and yeah, she want to see your child, but she can never do nothing for them. So now all of the responsibility of raising this child basically falls on you. Okay. Because this is what happens. Okay, when she come around, your kid gonna be ecstatic to see them. That's they other parent, they mama, however you want, you know what I'm saying, like however you want to call it. So they kid gonna be ecstatic to see them. But then as soon as you leave, soon as the mother leave, but then you still gotta deal with everything else. You still gotta, buy the clothes and the shoes and the diapers and the wipes and feed them and you know what I'm saying, like. All of that falls back on you. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be hard to not have some kind of resentment towards that person because, you doing all the glory. I mean, that the other parent is doing the glory work because when they come around, everything is happy. The kid ain't seen them in a while, you know what I'm saying? And they ain't got to have nothing, but the kid's still going to be happy to see them. Mm-hmm. That's glory work. You doing all the hard work, though. You doing all the leg work, though. You know what I'm saying?
It shouldn't matter, though.
But it is.
But that's bitterness.
You're not right. It's gonna be human nature to be upset about that.
You can be human nature. You still be wrong. I don't care how human nature it is.
Bro, so you don't think it's nothing. So you think it's
I'm saying it is.
Cool?
I'm saying it is morally wrong. Ethically, it is wrong. At the end of the day, regardless if she buy some eye contacts, that's the kid's mother.
True.
That's the kid's daddy. So regardless if just because you bad because you got to buy the diapers and clothes and everything, and when the kids see her, they ecstatic and you mad and resentment, you need to get over that. Because like at the end of the day you gotta custody the kids, you gonna be paying for most of the stuff anyway. So like all this shit it ain't about you having to. It's about you letting you have to forgive that and be like, alright, that's done. Like I gotta get over that regardless of what she do or what he do, that's still the father, that's still the mother, so you gotta let that go.
But
you can't say
I think it's unfair, or ain't it more to being a mother or a father than just having a child?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but the way you're saying is you got to pay to play, and
that's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is
that's the summary of what you're saying.
No, I'm saying
you gotta do nothing for the kids.
I can understand the bitterness. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm saying, but I can
that's
understand.
What I'm saying. Yeah, I'm saying it's wrong. Yeah.
But see, you only wrong if you can do for your child and you don't.
Right.
That's when you wrong.
Okay.
If you can't do because you
that was
can't
do,
too. Then
I
still should be able to
do it. I don't feel like easy because y'all as fathers, y'all to y'allself, it ain't gonna be no I can't. There's no way that y'all gonna say,
everybody
I can't do it. I understand that.
I don't put me on somebody else.
But make a way, because you can make a way to do other stuff.
I'm not talking about I can't buy wipes. I'm talking about I can't pay for your schooling with this money. I can't buy you no tennis shoes.
I'm talking about I can't. Period. I'm talking about like if you.
I can't buy no wipes. I mean, you got diaper money.
I mean, the kid needs school clothes. Okay, well, I can't buy no.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about I ain't got $300.
And you mad because I ain't bought school clothes in 10 years.
So if that's an isolated case, then that's something different. But if you ain't never got it,
I understand the business. I understand the business.
At some point, you got to have it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. At some point, you got to do something.
I get it, but at the end of the day, the child should not have to suffer for your bitterness.
Yeah, that's true. I understand that. I understand it. So I definitely feel you on that. No, a child shouldn't be held away from a parent because you can't pay for something.
right.
But but all I was saying was I understand what that bitterness.
I can see why they mad. I'll be mad too.
Yeah.
It's like when somebody owe you money, but you keep seeing them in new pants or something. And they be like, man, I ain't got it. You do got it.
I get that.
Yeah.
I truly get that.
But I'm talking about like if you don't got it.
Some people live beyond their means.
When it comes to kids,
some people live beyond their means, and they might have new joints, but they ain't got the rent. So they like, look, I can't buy no school clothes because I can't even pay my rent because I got these days. You know what I'm saying? So I get you saying
you're wrong.
I ain't got it. You're wrong.
You're
wrong.
But you don't got it. You don't got it.
And then some people just lazy, like you don't want to go and get it. You could.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you don't want to.
That's why everybody ain't supposed to be parents, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Make this,
exactly.
Hey,
let's see,
have kids by the right person.
People don't think about that. If you're not ready for sex, you're not ready to have sex. You're not ready for no kids.
Hey,
trust me.
I'm not gonna go agree with you with that. I'm gonna say, if you gonna have sex, man, protect yourself, man. Don't have kids by the right person.
Don't wrap it up.
Have sex.
And look,
you're not ready for it.
If you're not ready,
talking to the little ones.
Hey, I'm gonna say this. I'm
the grown ones too.
Further, like, if you have kids with somebody and they not ready, you might want to make a decision.
So yeah, that's definitely true because it ain't just about you,
right?
Yeah.
Because you can't be having kids and you know they worth nothing.
You just want to have a baby,
right? You know what I'm saying? And not even that. You just I don't believe in abortion. I don't believe I'm not gonna say you should get an abortion, but like you need to understand that dude ain't worth nothing. So when you have this kid, don't expect something different. Cause women be expecting, he gonna change when this kid come out there. No.
He ain't gonna stay.
He ain't finna, man. What you saw from Trump is what you got from Trump. It ain't gonna be nothing different.
He ain't gonna stay, sis.
You ain't gonna elect him and he gonna be somebody. He a day now, so he gonna have to do something.
A lot of women,
that's putting
a lot of women they having wives written all over, but they entertain dudes they can't read.
It go to flip side. If a dude get a girl pregnant, bro, old girl is stupid.
Come on, man.
So when she have a baby, man, she finna get stupider. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna get worse.
It's gonna be crazy for you.
Behavior is either getting worse or getting better. It's never standing still. It's never gonna be stagnant.
I say don't do it. That's my you don't want to be a father, don't have sex.
I understand, man.
We need total line.
Everybody can have sex to have kids.
Because it feels when you want your fire put out. That's your problem because you're hot.
Hey, shout out to the real fathers, man. Shout out to the good fathers. Shout out to the fathers that don't have to ask their baby mama to carry their kids on income tax time. Shout out to them, man. That's what's up. Yeah. And it's dope to see like a good father culture. Like I say, I can kind of see that it's starting to change. You see many more men involved in their kids' lives, trying to get involved. You know what I'm saying? Like taking a more active role, man. That's super dope. It's like I say, 10, 15 years. Like when I was in high school, I ain't know nobody seemed like they had their daddies in their house. You know what I'm saying? Like
that was the norm.
Me having a stepfather was like big.
That was the norm.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see it. Like you said, like 90s television, like that was like dealing with the fathers that we seen, like you said, Bill Cosby, Clark, you know what I'm saying, Cliff Huxtable, Carl Winslow, you know what I'm saying, like
it's so rare condition.
Yeah, like that's what we
see.
You know what I mean?
Like, what you trying to say? We
never like these days, these kids they grew up, they looking back at Martin, thinking Martin is father, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? We grew up with Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil was there, you know what I'm saying?
There,
you know what I'm saying?
Even for a kid that wasn't his.
He ain't have to do nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to people who ain't got to do nothing, but they do it.
Shout out to Fresh Prince for the father episode, man. That father episode was... Man.
He wouldn't Emmy for that?
He should have.
I trip every time I see it.
He said, that's my Lou. He's like, that's my Lou.
Man, you can't help
that's my dad.
You talking about... Man, that was like the dopest sitcom episode ever. Like,
because it resonated with people.
Yeah, it did.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You either lived it or you knew somebody who lived it, so you understood the pain that he seen. You know
that was a powerful episode.
That raw emotion was dope. Yeah. Shout out to Uncle Phil for that, man. Rest in peace, Uncle Phil.
Rest in peace, Uncle Phil.
Yeah.
It's hard being a good father, man. Like I get, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no playbook, ain't no, you know what I'm saying? I don't care how many TD Jakes books you read, I mean,
You are not ready for it.
It is a per person lifestyle. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
I be telling the girls at my job all the time, wrap it up, man. Wrap it. That is not
Don't
something
do
that
it.
you want.
I'm
It
telling
is
you.
not what you think it is. Being a parent is easily the most stressful, but most enjoyable thing you can do in your life.
But the most stressful. Throw
Yeah.
two stressfuls on there.
Yeah, the
I
most
don't know,
One on the
stressful
beginning
way.
and one on the end.
I
You
say
get
wait.
so
I
much
say wait
joy
it out, man.
and so
Wait
much
it out,
stress
just don't
out
do
of
Wait
it.
it out, man.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
have
dope.
sex with
Sometimes
nobody.
I kind of regret
You
that
ain't
waiting
ready
so
to
long
marry
because
her.
now I be seeing people my age.
I agree.
And they
I
kids be
felt that
15
too.
and 16
Yeah.
and they be all on trips. I be like, dang, I gotta get a babysitter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
How old
Like,
you when you had your first?
I was 33.
You was
like
wow.
33, yeah,
I was
you know what I'm
27.
Oh.
But still, like, it's a blessing for y'all because now you kind of like, you can kind of go
My
and cover
daughter
your
19.
leg.
Yeah.
Like,
You know
baby,
what
I'm
I'm
out
saying?
here. Put them noodles
But
on the stove for the
then
real brothers.
but I mean, taking the ladder on there, like, I couldn't, at 21, I'd have been depressed.
Yeah.
What? You
It
know
was
what I'm
rough,
saying?
man. It was rough.
21 with baby mama,
Because you want to be in your kids' life
Yeah.
as much as humanly
But then you
possible.
still want to have a life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I understand. Like,
You gotta
you
make
can
a
make
decision.
You gotta make a lot of bad. You're not gonna make every decision correctly. You know what I'm saying?
You never gonna do that. I tell my kids that all the time. I'll be like,
you never
listen,
gonna make it.
we make mistakes as parents too. Like,
Oh, yeah, you
you're
gonna
not
do
gonna
that.
get it right every time.
Yeah, you gonna do that.
Sometimes we gonna blame y'all for something you didn't do. Like, that's just it's part of life. Like,
What a life.
we are not perfect. Yeah. But you,
They understand that.
As long as you try your best, though, man, that's all that matters.
They see
That's all I be wanting. I just be wanting.
As long as
I
they
just
know
want
you
people to try their
did,
best.
not they even told you. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want nobody, you don't want a parent to tell you like I did my best. You want to actually like feel
Know
it
it,
and
yeah.
see it. Like, you know what? Hey,
And that's
you
how
tried out,
that's
man.
how I feel even about my stepfather. Like, he never said that, but I know he did. Like I
Yeah.
said, it took me until I was an adult to understand it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like he was rah, but he still did his best.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to my daddy and my stepdaddy.
He took what he,
man.
took what he had and what he learned and he
Both
applied it. You
of
know
them.
what I'm saying? He did the best.
Yeah. Shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all being good fathers, man. That's hell of an example.
Shout out
man.
to you, man. 2016, man.
Hey,
Father of the Year. Hold on to
do my
that.
best.
You should have a
Yeah.
plaque or something.
Man, I do,
somewhere,
man. It's right there.
I already got a poster.
Why
got
is
a
so
plaque.
small, man?
You should got a tag, man. You should got fire on your back.
Right on
Man,
your
look.
back. Right on your back.
Here we go, man. Look, gonna get collect a little dust.
Oh, that's dusty. You don't even. Let me check it out, man.
There you go.
I eat off this mug. Real talk. This would be my dinner plate. You ever put the big piece of chicken right there?
Yeah, it was a hell of an honor, man. It really was.
Father of the Year, man.
Father
You
of
see
the
it. We ain't
Year.
out there playing, man. You
Father
see
of
it. You
the
know
Year.
what it is. Yeah, we need to get this blowed up. Get it blowed up, like flued up, flued out.
Get it blowed up. That's what's up.
That is what's up,
Big.
man.
That's big, man.
All right, man. Look, so that's gonna be our episode for today. Let's do a quick recap. So first we talked about how it was. I think we all said that it was kind of rough growing up with
To
the
say the least.
yeah.
And it was even worse for my daddy because when he got put out of the house, he moved in with my aunt.
Okay.
And my aunt stayed next door to my cousin. So when I would go over his house, my daddy he would come outside.
So
he
to
sure
see me.
was
So
there.
your daddy
Next
stayed
door.
next door to Vince?
Yeah, Earletha.
Mhm.
Yeah, sure did.
Wow.
Sure did.
He would be right next door and couldn't see me.
Wow.
Wouldn't have it. Right next door. He could hear me through the walls
That's
of the
deep.
projects.
That's deep.
And be crying. Like,
Her name was Erletha?
yeah,
Earletha.
Man, that's a hell of a name.
yeah. He from the
Wow.
bottom of the bottom, man. From
Wow.
the bottom, so it was really rough.
All right, so then we talked about what motivates us to be good fathers. I think we all pull some motivation for our fatherly examples or lack thereof.
Negative and positive. Negative motivation
negative and positive. You know what I'm saying? But hey, whatever it takes to be great dads.
Whatever
man.
it takes to be great.
Whatever it takes, man.
Pedal to the metal on this thing, man. We're out here playing.
Yeah, for sure.
We ain't out here playing.
And then finally, we talked about the stigma that's put on black fathers, how we are viewed, and the good thing is that we doing our part to break that curse. You know what I'm saying? To change their viewpoint. You know what I'm saying? Like how black fathers are viewed.
I want to input that too on that part. Like we need to like watch with like not even we, but like as far as like with women need to watch like how they talk in front of their kids when it comes to their father too.
Yeah.
It's like you can pass
Absolutely.
down like negative energy like to your kid to view the father some kind of way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we need to watch how you like communicate with your kids when it comes to the father, you know, and
My
vice
kids'
versa.
mothers never did that. Shout out to
And
them.
vice versa, like even if like you got the custody of your kids, like never talk down,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, to the mother. Like
Yeah, my kids will tell you they never heard a bad word come out of my mouth.
Well, you know what? I don't know if my daughter ever did hear a bad mouth come out of her mama's mouth.
Bad mouth come out of my mouth.
My mother, my daughter ever heard her mama say something bad about me, I'm not really sure about that.
She told you.
I'm not really sure about that. But she never heard Rod Loud say nothing bad about now one of them. I got something bad to say about both of them.
Well, hey,
Never said nothing bad about now one of
You
them.
held them cards.
Hang them cars on up, Jack.
that's what's better, man. That's
My
what's
shower
better,
head
man.
be hearing all the complaints though. Man, then get what else she did. Shower head be like straight up, dog. That's crazy.
Hey, them shower conversations be
Right.
real. The person in the shower
But he
head
deep,
keep-
boy.
Hey, it real talk though.
You can holler. Know what I'm saying?
Hey, I
Shower
swear.
head be like, yeah, I feel you.
Why
Bro.
they had a lot of cold water days, bro. You been there talking like it
I done
was.
cried in the shower. They shed them tears. Lord.
Hey,
Really?
you gotta get it out.
You gotta get out some
Yeah,
kind of way,
man.
man. You should
I
get it
cried in
that
the
way,
shower.
man.
Yeah,
Rinse right on off, man.
Yeah.
that's what's up.
Good
So
to-
man, this was healthy, man. This was good, man. We need to do this more often. So hey, we'll definitely have our local celeb Rod Lyles on the show again. Our local celeb Rod Lyles, family,
Oh, man,
man,
hold on,
we
man.
family,
St. Louis.
You know, he ain't look, man. He international, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
That man,
international.
hey, he called him international Lyles.
You
man.
heard me?
I apologize,
That's real,
man.
man.
I
International.
apologize.
I got a passport.
You
Ain't no
do.
stamps on it, but I got
You do.
one.
Done. You know what I'm saying?
Got one.
International, man. We gotta speak that to existence.
Yeah, man. Come on now.
International.
Our international
Sensation.
celeb Rod Lyles
Come
on
on
the
now.
show.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Man, energy, man. Make sure you log on to the
He ain't around he ain't just
liveseffect.com.
around the corner.
The
He around a few
liveseffect.com.
corners.
Come on, man. Few corners. Put the
Few
energy
corners.
out there for the people so they know what it
Yeah,
is,
man, I
man. You
feel
know
you,
what's
man.
happening.
Yeah,
You're
man.
going to find out later on.
So we got the liveseffect.com. We got
You know what I'm saying? PerfectVictorySTL.com. All things me, man. Everything, man. Booking, my social media pages, which be popping, and my new clothing line, you know what I'm saying? Success Story, which is popping, man. Sales coming in, man.
Sales coming in.
I'm telling you, man.
hey, that's what's up,
I
man.
could still be selling dope, man. It's a blessing.
God is good.
And God is really good.
Yeah,
man.
all the time.
I got blessed
All
off
the
the tail
time.
on my own, man, because things could have been different, man.
Yes,
You know what
sir.
I'm saying?
Also, real quick, I got some Super Dad sweatshirts coming out. Be on the
Oh,
lookout
yeah,
for
yeah,
those
yeah.
too.
I forgot about
They
that.
on the
Yeah,
website as
sure,
well.
man. Super Dad.
Super
You
Dad.
gonna get an order
Super
from me on
Dad
that
sweatshirt,
tonight.
man. Log on to the
Yeah,
liveseffect.com.
yeah,
If
yeah.
you a good dad and you want to be recognized for what you did, put it on the shirt so they know what's happening.
Only get it if you're a good dad, though.
Liveseffect.com.
Don't be lying out
It's
here.
the liveseffect.com, man. Check it out.
Also, don't forget to go to Giving Away Game, the podcast on YouTube. Episode will be uploaded tomorrow.
Yeah.
Go check us out, man. Episode 1 already on there. Like I say, this episode 2. We're finna get episode 3 cracking and pump that out as soon as possible. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can email us, givingawaygamethepodcast@gmail.com. It'll also be on the credits after the show and before the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you like what we saying, let us know. If you don't like what we saying, let us know. We about honesty on here, man.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't like what we said, you wasn't feeling what we said, you think the podcast stupid, let us know. Like, all criticism is good criticism to me. That's how I feel.
You're doing good, man. You did a good job, man.
Hey, I'm
Good
just
job,
trying to
man.
get better, man.
Proud of
What's
you,
up,
Trying to
man.
get better. Hey, I do my best, man. I appreciate it.
I know.
So like I say, man, this episode 2. We wrapping up. One love, man. We'll see y'all later.
What's up, man? What's up, man? Yeah, I'm proud of you too, man.
Man, thank
Good
you,
job,
man. I do my best.
Came a long way from playing spoons, man.
Playing
Ah!
spoons.
Yeah. I'm walking the
Please.
Came a long way. Well,
They
came
can
a
play
long
spoons
way.
on Tucker.
Damn.
That boy
I was homeless or something?
All right,
Came a
man.
long way,
All right,
dog.
man. We go, man. We go.
In-house production.